Hello and welcome back to our top-down shooter, Homework Attack. In this video, we will talk about how to make the game randomly spawn enemy. So, what we want to do is pick points for the enemy to spawn. If I hold my mouse up at the top corner, then I can see the coordinates down here where it says mouse. So, up in the top left corner, I see that this position is 2, 3. If I were to get there perfectly, this top left corner of the layout would be 0, 0. The first number is the X, and that represents moving left and right. So the further I move to the right, the bigger the X number gets. The second number is the Y value. Starting in the upper corner is 0, and if I move down, the Y value gets bigger. So what I would want to do is have an enemy spawn somewhere outside of the layout. So we'll start by having an enemy spawn from a fixed point. So let's say that I want it to spawn at about 800, negative 100. In my event sheet to spawn an enemy, I would say the system, every certain amount of time, so let's say every X seconds. So let's say every 1 second I want an enemy to spawn. The system is going to do the spawning. Except when the system does it, it's not called spawning, it's called creating. It's going to create a homework at the position we said 800 and then negative 100. So, let's add a comment here before we forget. The system spawns homework every 1 second. Okay, now if I push play, here's that homework. I'm going to deal with that. Uh-oh, there are more homeworks. They're all spawning from the same area, but since we programmed it, they're going to keep aiming at me. There we go. Now that's all well and good if I want my homework always spawning from the same point. However, I think we can make it a little bit more interesting than that. So right now it's spawning from about right here. I would like it to spawn from anywhere up here. So that means starting from 0 and going all the way up to this rightmost point is about 1708. So we could say from negative 100 to 1800. That would give us a pretty wide range. So I want the computer to randomly pick a number between negative 100 and positive 1800 and spawn it there. So let's go ahead and edit this event. On the X, instead of 800, I'm going to type the word random and then parentheses. Inside these parentheses, I'm going to put the smallest number first, negative 100, followed by a comma, and then the largest number, positive 1800. So if I choose that, now I'm going to take care of this one. And now I see that one came from over there, and now I'm starting to get homeworks from all over the place. And this is starting to get a little bit more interesting. Now what would make this even better is instead of always coming from the top, if they also came from the bottom. So right here, we chose negative 100 for the Y. I could also do it down here at about positive 1100. Now the problem here is the random is picking any number from in between. What I want the vertical number to do is choose between negative 100 and positive 1100 all the time, just those two numbers. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to change the Y here, and instead of using random, I'm going to say choose negative 100 or positive 1100. And And what that'll do is it'll make it so it only chooses between those two numbers. And that'll make it so I don't have homework spawning randomly in the middle of the layout. So let's go ahead and see how that looks. Now I can see that I've got homework coming in from the top and the bottom. Stuff's getting crazy around here. It's looking good.